Hi all, so great. This is question 1, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do each question, of course, and use this as a teaching tool as well. I recommend you actually have the actual AAT website open as well. This might not be very clear because I've done a screenshot of these, so the number pick up. But let's just look through this first question. And again, because I'm still using it as a teaching tool, I want to kind of highlight a couple of issues. This question looks very much like the first questions in your exam kit, right? So in terms of practicing, do the exam kit questions, the first 6, right? And then that just gives you a better understanding of what's going on here. Watch this. In your exam kit, they give you these figures kind of in the actual T account, but here they're actually telling you what they are. So just kind of watch this VAT here and watch the bank. Okay, great. Let's start this. Let's look at this question. So everything again very similar, like what I was saying. So we want the net figures in our sales returns and the totals in our actual sales ledger control account and purchase ledger control account. So we discussed that, didn't we? So let's look at the question. So it says using only the figure supplied, find the missing discount figure. So we discussed this. We saw this problem about finding the discount as the balancing. There's quite a bit of that yesterday as well. So they want us to do the purchase ledger control account. So let me just go down. So, oh yes, because this is all I'm screenshotting. So they want us to do a purchase ledger control account, and this is what they've given you. So let's just go back again here. So if I'm going back again here and they want us to do the purchase ledger control account, these are the figures I want, don't I? These are my starting figures. That's my opening balance, and that's my. So I want 13,345 as my opening balance, 13,345 as my opening balance, and I want 14,656 as my closing balance. So if that's going to be my closing balance, 14,656 will be my closing balance, my balance carried down, and that's my opening balance. I mean, you have the answers as well. I'm just walking through this so we can just sort of see what's going on. So don't mind if I haven't done it perfectly in terms of all the names and everything. I'm just trying to get the theory through. So this is what you have. You have these opening figures, right? Okay, great. So what do I have now? It says during the year you had purchases of this, you had VAT of this, and you had this total there. And remember the double entry, right? It was debit purchases. Remember debit purchases 124, right? 940. Debit VAT, which we'll come to because you can claim back this VAT, and if you like, credit the purchase ledger control account with this 149,348. So if you like, purchases 149,348. Right, so that's the whole. That's what's happening with that transaction here. In this question, there are no purchases returns, so you don't have to worry about that in this question here. So what else do we now finally have? It tells us. So in a way, you can see we have most of the information that we need. Right, we have an opening balance, we buy some more stuff on credit, then we have a closing balance. I'm just going to change my pen color. So what must have happened was we must have paid something out of the bank. So I go and I look in my bank, and it says here amount to suppliers. So I have 145,137, 145. So we have here 145,137 bank, right? So it must have been debit purchase ledger control account and credit my bank account, right? And that's what we have. So that is your purchase ledger control account from what I can see with this very first question, right? They want your purchase ledger control account. That's that one. Now let's look at the VAT. So again, what I said here was in the exam kit they actually put this 18018. So just watch out for that. The 1806 it will start off. It tells you it's a credit, so it tells you have a credit balance of 1806. So you owe 1,806 at the beginning of the period. So this is your opening. So let's come back here now. Let's now look at our VAT figures. Now again, I'm just going to go logical here. You have the video on how I've done this, but again, this this sales VAT, you owe this VAT. It's a liability, it's not yours, right? So again, if I was doing the double entry for this, I'm just because I'm teaching, I'm just gonna, if you like, just do it, right? That's the scenario here. So we have revenue, I think it was 159, let me just look at that, 159,100, 159,100, VAT, 31,820, 31,820, and then of course my 190,920, my sales ledger control account 190,120. That's kind of, this is the double entry for that transaction right there. So the VAT is 31,820, 31,820, right? So 31,820, you owe 31,820. That's from your VAT for sales, VAT sales. Right, so let's go back here. So then, now this is really interesting. Now you have a scenario where you have some sales returns. So because some sales have been returned to you, you don't have to pay VAT on those goods anymore. So if you like, that reduces your liability. You can think of it that way logically. I mean, we could do the double entry, but just because of time, again, we now have 322. So 322 on the opposite side of VAT sales returns. VAT sales returns, yes, 322. Yes, and that's kind of what's going on over there. That 322 must oppose this, right? Because it's just returning back to what's going on. Let me just do the double entry just because, so we can so you can see what's happening here. Sales returns, it must be the net value. It must be the net value. So what do we have here? So we have here 1932 is the full amount. 1932, right? 1932 is the full amount, reducing what it is that you will receive from this customer. 1932, and then we have 1610 and 322. So what do we have? 1610, 22. That's the double entry. That's the double entry. Yes, I'm sure you can see where I'm going with that. Then let's just go back here. Then of course you have your your purchases VAT 24408 that you can claim back. 24408. This is VAT on purchases. Then you have finally you have, let's look here, and so we've done with all the VAT in this area here, there, and we have this scenario here of general expense, right? So you can claim back, it's an expense. So once you see expenses, you can claim back VAT on expenses. So you can claim back this 1502. I can do the double entry again just here so you can just sort of see what's going on here. So you have general expense 7510, VAT of course 1502, and you paid out of the bank 9012. You can see it there actually that you paid out of the bank 9012. Okay, great. So you can claim back this 1502. So we have 1502 VAT on expenses that you can claim back. Right, and then final thing, just carefully, just to watch, is this thing here. They tell you cash sales of 4200 were made, and this excludes, they're telling you that this excludes VAT at 20%. So they're telling you that you actually what happened was that it says amount banked from cash sales. So you actually received 5040, and then basically, I mean, this question is actually quite fair. They're not asking you to actually calculate the VAT. Those are the actually cash sales themselves. This is what you actually received from your cash sales. So the difference, if you like, is the amount that should go to VAT. You've received 5040. That includes the VAT amount, if you like, that your customers have given you as well. That your whole money, if you like, to the government. It's not yours, right? And so with your cash sales, I mean, it's like as you really would have cash sales, if you like, 4,200, VAT 840, and bank 5040. 840. Right, and that's exactly what's happened. So your VAT is actually 840. So always look out for that. Look out for those cash sales. The exam kit as well had a question on that as well, so they could vary. So you have 840 cash VAT, and then finally, just using a different color, we have what you actually paid the VAT man during the year. So what we have to do is look in the bank again, finally, HMRC for VAT payment. So you now actually pay VAT during the year. So debit VAT, credit bank. That's the 6169. Yeah, 6169. 6169, you're actually paying 6169 debit VAT and credit bank, which is what you're seeing here. That's the bank. So that's how we deal with the VAT, right? So please have a go at this one, have a go at the others as well in the exam kit. And I think just you doing this over and over again gets you fluent, but we have to do it a couple of times. Right, I think the last question, the last bit of this question was, right, what have I just done? This is the VAT control. Let me just make sure that I'm doing the same thing. Right, I think that's the same. All right, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. Sorry, that's the same thing. Right, receipts. Yes, receipts. Yes, all right. So finally, the last part here is they ask you, assuming there are no year-end adjustments, what's the opening balance of the bank account in the year-end? I can actually do this on here. So what we have here, book, if you like, which is what they're sort of asking you to do. So let me go back here. Let's just be careful. Always look carefully. So it tells you here that you have an opening balance of 3,811 in debit, or on the debit side. That's the opening balance. So that's what they're really saying here. So you have 3811. Remember, this says what's the opening balance at the 1st of April. So this is in the following year. So be careful. Remember this. Let's go back here. This here is the 31st of March. This is the 30th of March. So this is really the 1st of April 2007. It's the same thing, isn't it? The following year is the closing balance here, is the opening balance here. So starting the year, and then you have 3811. Then they tell you you receive 2004, you pay out 205718. So the difference, if you like, is your carried down. That's what they're asking, really. What is your carried down at the end of the year? Down on the 1st of April. So I'm just quickly looking for my calculator to do that, and that should be 3811 plus 200448 equals that minus 205718, and that gives you 1459. So your balance put down is 1459, and that's so. In terms of teaching points, key points are that watch out as soon as you. This is really practice. For practice, exam kit question 1 to 6. Go through those, and please send me any questions. Watch out for these. Watch out for VAT here. Watch out for the credits, and watch out for the bank. You might have to do some adjustment here. Here they've given you closing inventory at the year end. So this is really opening inventory and closing inventory. So they might just give you this information because we'll see some questions later on. They might want you to, I don't know, maybe calculate purchases from cost of sales or something like that. But just watch out. This is just information for you to play with. Okay, great stuff, and that's the end of question 1.